Hello and welcome back to another live stream of our wrestling reaction show, wrestling review show. I'm Matt on your left. Obviously, you can read John's on your right. We got a lot to talk about this week. Of course, we had Survivor Series this Sunday. We'll get into that, give our thoughts. But first, let's always start off with the fresh show on our minds that just went off the air about 5 or so minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, is Friday Night Smackdown. What did you think of the show overall?
A very fun show this week. A definitely a lot better. From last week's show. It really helps that we're finally out of the Survivor Series build because now we can actually we can actually see some actual feuds that actually matter, sort of thing. We kind of have a pretty good idea for TLC what they could be doing with guys such as like a Roman, and like Sami Zayn, who I'm just loving what they are currently what they are currently doing with him right now. I'm still asking questions of what the hell is going on with the tag teams right now. I'm not entirely going crazy for the Street Profits versus Rude and Ziggler here, but outside of that, man, I thought that it was a pretty strong show this week. How about you?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. A lot of progress, a lot of throughout the show from beginning to end, one storyline going through, that being Uso taking out the pretty much the face members of the Smackdown team, that Roman wanted him to insert fear into them so they respect you. That's Roman pretty much at the beginning of the show said that they don't listen to you because they don't respect you, because they don't fear you. And I like when Roman came out after Uso had his little promo. He just goes in and says, "Play it." Just simple 2 words that said, "Play it." Love it.
Yeah, it just there's really nothing that they can do that is any wrong when it comes to either him or Jay Uso right now, and how they're just incorporating just different kinds of people. And man, it's like, and this is consistent too. Anyone who is associated with the tribal chief, it feels like just such a massive big deal. Like, it's pretty much ever since he officially has donned this new persona.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll take this off. It's itchy. Pretty much as soon as he came. It is itchy. He came back from the get go when he was attacking. Who was it? Bray and was it Strowman?
Yep.
Like right off the get, it was you just knew it was different. People didn't believe it.
Yeah, because I recall us coming on here. I was like, Roman came off a lot more aggressive than I'm like used to.
More hillish.
That definitely, and I was just like, "There's something up here." And sure enough, on the following SmackDown, you see like Paul Heyman there was like, "Oh shit, things are about to change." And sure enough, and man, this is how powerful that freaking Roman is. Jey Uso has a new T-shirt now. He has a new T-shirt. Like that, if that just speaks volumes for how big he is on the show now. It's like it has been excellent storytelling. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this because as we have seen way too often, Matt, we don't get this all too often when it comes to either like Raw or SmackDown. So going to enjoy the absolute hell out of this year.
Yeah, so Roman was saying instill fear into his SmackDown team. So as Jay's leaving, Otis comes out for a scheduled match between King Corbin, and I just had this feeling that this match wasn't going on. You just had that look, and sure enough, as Otis is getting to the ring, Jay comes with a steel chair and beats the crap out of him. I love it. And so this was the theme throughout the night of beating up his team. And then after this, we get it's kind of lead into what you said. Street Profits versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler non-title match with with Roode and Ziggler getting the win.
Yeah, this was predictable as freaking hell. I have no desire to see this whatsoever. And someone on Twitter made up a great point. Why not just do Ray and Dominic versus these guys? Get someone new, get some fresh blood into this freaking tag teams.
The only
here on the main roster here. Yeah.
The only thing that extends in that way, if you're going traditional, is that's face versus face. Right. But I would be okay. I would be okay
at this point. Somehow, I would care.
I would somehow, if there was a feud between Ziggler and Roode and Mysterios, at least it could be at least it's something, right? I mean, but I rather see Roode not be with Ziggler than them fighting for the titles.
Anything involving with him Ziggler is just you're in immediate death. Just like no one is going to give a single crap about anything that involving him.
No,
it's just like I cannot stress like it's the. I mean, at least like for me, that is a channel changing heat for me anyway.
It's
when it comes with them Ziggler right now.
No, well, I don't change the channel. I just go, okay, here comes something that is not going to matter in the long run.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I hope. Well, obviously probably not to this extent, but to the extent similar to Drew had teaming up with Dolph, then he broke off and did his became champion. So Robert can break off and be some sort of champion, or do his thing. I hope so down the line.
Yeah,
because the entrance alone was something I'm surprised didn't put him over. When he first got called up,
they screwed him up so badly because he was so freaking hot down in NXT. Had one of the most coolest entrances. Had a really cool presentation. I think just has to screw everything up.
Yeah. I think how over I am with SmackDown is that him being on SmackDown for the foreseeable future, I think, would be beneficial if they do something compared to if he was on Raw. And at least with SmackDown, there's people who are doing stuff regardless. I mean, obviously not everybody's be a star, but if you watch, like, people are doing stuff in some form or fashion. More people are involved.
A very good example of that is Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion, who I swear is like feuding with like about 3 or 4 different people right now, which is kind of cool because now because now it actually makes the title feel somewhat important now, you know?
Because obviously I think him, like he has with Daniel Bryan, but obviously that's pivoted with Jay, so you got Daniel Bryan in technically 2 things, but they've introduced Big E, which I thought they would have weeks ago. That'd be a good, the stepping stone title, like it used to be. So they've started that, and we thought they would start Big E's feud after Survivor Series. Now there's nothing.
Yeah,
No brand stuff. It's more like, okay, let's start
right.
and let's lead this up.
And that is definitely what I'm very excited for, because I'm like, now finally we can finally start to actually do something with him, because he's been essentially on standby for like the last 5
Because
weeks.
if they didn't, see, the thing is, if they did, say they, it's booked in the thing. If they did do something, it could be lost in the shuffle because it was Sammy and Bobby. He could have maybe done something. I don't know, but that's behind us, and now they're doing something. Like they started. You got the baby steps. You have even Chad Gable is doing something. I know he's not prominent right now, but something's like stuff's happening that, okay, like it or not, whatever. That's a different conversation, but stuff is going on SmackDown in compared to
and
Raw.
Like how mad, and how another thing too. We have two women's feuds on SmackDown too, which I can't even recall last time that's happened, and how actually two like somewhat decent feuds. I mean, I am not crazy.
Yeah. Okay, that's the key right there with what you just said.
Yeah,
decent, because I believe, if I'm not wrong, like there's been more than one feud going on, I think, on SmackDown before, but the second one could have been feuds. Way less.
Yeah,
we've got. I know you think on Carmella, but you got Carmella and Sasha Banks for the championship. You got Sasha there,
which is fine.
They got a good, It's not, you're not going to have a WrestleMania feud we still have to see. We'll see how, maybe Carmella's improved. That we don't know. We haven't seen her wrestle yet.
However,
in this new
Bailey versus Bianca should be great. Like that.
Yes.
That has the potential to. That is by far the best first feud for Bianca right now, because now that is going to immediately make her a really big deal. I was not crazy. Why is she only beating Natty by a freaking roll up, which makes no sense to me whatsoever? But besides that,
I'm less upset about that. I don't care about that.
I'll just like
they could have done the Bailey got punched and cost her the match, and then that starts the feud. They could have done that. How many times have they done that before?
True. But I will say, like, those two feuds, and granted, I am not a very big fan of Carmella. However, for the time being, she is a good, like, short-term thing until they eventually get to, obviously,
because
Sasha versus Bianca,
Because who else is on that SmackDown roster right now? Because you already used Bailey. You're not doing Bianca right now,
unless you want to actually start to use Ruby Riott seriously. But
you can't do that right now. You can't do that. No. As of now, you can't do that now. You got to build her back up. I feel like her or Liv could be a good whatever. But with Carmella, she kind of has the look, and she kind of can talk. She's kind of been there before, so you have a good quote unquote veteran to do this, and she's got a good character and a good heel. You need a heel. Ruby and say Liv are not heels. Natalia is kind of just there.
And that's the problem. But I think for now, it's okay. It's fine, because
what do you want?
Right, exactly. So I can't really complain
built
right
Bianca.
now.
You built Bianca up. You get
Yeah.
Carmella to screw around with Sasha, and
Right.
it's fine.
Yep, I completely agree with that. And man,
sorry.
man, we've already talked about like what 3 or 4 things that we are definitely interested in the
Intrigued,
show.
intrigued. Yes,
Right,
for the most part.
And as this show ended, man, we're going to be getting Kevin Owens versus our tribal chief, which that should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this because just
I love the
seeing
ending of this.
just seeing Roman and just seeing how pissed off that he looks. He said more in like one look than like he could in it came in a promo there. Like,
and I love how they were showing him watching backstage as Owens was talking to the camera, and you just see his face. Perfectly executed segment to close the show. I loved it.
And all you see is like Heyman is like scared for his life. He was like,
Uh-oh.
He was like, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. And
I think I saw smoke come out of Roman's ears. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like, that's. I mean, it's like I said, Matt. Anything he touches is going to be at least very good. It's going to be at least very, very, very good. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm expecting this to be probably just a straight up TLC match here. I'm expecting a lot of pain and carnage here. So
can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait. That's gonna be good. Yeah. Like Owens, I'd like Owens sitting at the end of the table, the announce table.
Right.
Like it's so good. Like obviously we know Owens can talk. He's got two sides of him. He has tonight and NXT on Wednesday. We'll obviously talk about that. Just real quick, we had Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. Sami Zayn won by count out, which I figured Daniel Bryan, they fought to the back, and Sami Zayn walked back or ran back, and I figured, Jay's probably back there attacking Daniel Bryan because they were on the team, and sure enough, works for Sami Zayn's character, that heel that complains about being treated unfairly, blah blah blah, but works unfairly to win. Like he does. He's doing
chicken shit heel perfectly. Does the chicken shit heel perfectly? Yeah.
This is what Johnny Gargano should be. They're similar, but Sami Zayn pulls it off better.
Sami Zayn, I just think pulls it off perfectly. I just don't think Johnny has. He doesn't fit as a heel, and that's his problem. It's just like where as Sami, you can kind of tell that's kind of him to a certain
it comes off.
It comes off real.
But there's things with John. I see glimpses of it with Johnny. It's just something. It's not consistent.
No, it's just
for the most part. I see glimpses, but it's not consistent on what they do with him.
No, and whereas with Sami, it comes off so much better, and he makes every segment. He always stands out. Always stands out. His promos are very consistent, and now you're going to be incorporating him versus Big E, which that should be really good. I'm really looking forward for that here, and as we said, like you can tell, like they're going to be giving him more of an edge. While like here, in his backstage segment there, man, he was showing some comedy, but you can see there's going to be more of an edge for him, which that has been something that for some time.
It was perfectly a perfect blend. Like it wasn't over the top cheesiness, but it was like funny in a way to degrade your opponent in a serious way. If that makes sense.
Right.
It was Big E, so it worked, but it wasn't like it was it was legit like comedy, but it was good comedy.
and
That worked.
yeah, absolutely.
Did we cover it? Was that everything?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we're
we talked
missing
about
anything.
no. So I
don't
think
think
we can. I think we can probably move on
Well,
to the weekly horror show known as Monday Night Raw.
Oh, okay. I thought okay, we'll cover that next. Okay.
Just briefly touch over it.
So let me remember. Men's Team Raw is out at the ring. They're talking blah blah blah. They need to come up. Adam Pearce saying they need a reward for the clean sweep Smackdown. They had to make their case for a WWE title shot, so everybody states their case. Strowman gets mad. He's pretty much like Andre the Giant to what's his face at Mania. Oh my God, who's the announcer for the Brewers? You know.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's killing me. How I not know his name. Anyways, you know the moment that the Andre the Giant shaking him, choking out. That was pretty much what Strowman did. Oh my God. That's good. Well, anyways, pretty much Strowman did that to Pierce, and storyline he was suspended indefinitely for that. And the rumor is somehow that's actually he's actually gonna be Drew's opponent at TLC or something like that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're saving him versus Sheamus for the Rumble then, because I'm kind of surprised that is
Probably
not where they are leading into. Which I have no interest in seeing Drew versus Strowman, but it at least gives the indication he is not going to be dropping that title anytime soon. So
yeah.
So that's about the only positive thing.
Yeah. We had.
Oh yeah. Cool question. Why were like New Day giving away tag team title shots like they were freaking candy on the show?
What? Well, they only defended it once, right?
I thought it was twice because
here's what happened. So I think there was a botched ending, which it wasn't supposed to be something happened. It wasn't supposed to be a double count out. So they improvised, and I think MVP said that's not how we want this to end, or that's not how you want it to end. You meaning the New Day, and so they restarted it, and New Day won again. So I think it was legit because if you watch it, you knew something was wrong, and I think the refs are instructed to like just shoot count, and then they work through it. And that's what happened, and like you knew something was gone, so they did it. They had to do it again to get the right ending or something. It wasn't the match itself, and up until the end it was good, but I'm still mad that. So like, I'm mad because where do you go from now? Because the Hurt Business has lost, I believe, 2 tag team title matches.
If I'm not mistaken. Like, why should they get any more?
I thought they were going to win. I thought this would have been the time to do it. Now they're 0-2. I'm afraid.
Who is New Day going to feud against now?
People are afraid this is going to be the new Street Profits and Andrade and
Angel Garza.
Yeah, which
that's absolutely what it's going to be like here. I mean, it just speaks once again to how lazy that this company is, and just putting together actual tag teams, and they're just
all the
just
tag teams are in NXT.
Yep, they're all, and hell, at least finally NXT is building a freaking tag team, teams.
It was
it's so
always
easy.
it was up for NXT.
So
It was
easy.
up for only it was only a matter of time for NXT was figure it out. They always
I'm like, holy
somehow
shit.
it always comes back around. It always does
It just
down
like
in NXT.
and and like that's my point. It's just like build up some teams and have like more than one freaking more than one tag team feud on a show because then I don't know, maybe you will actually show somewhat of some depth with your tags, but as Matt Vince, he just hates tag team wrestling, has always hated tag team wrestling, and I just will for the absolute life of me, I do not get it, especially when they have to know how many tag teams that AEW has. You would think, hey, that is doing pretty good over there. Why don't we try some of that? But no.
NXT's doing it, not the main roster.
Exactly. It's so frustrating. But oh, by the way, what's going on with Oscar right now?
What do you mean? Was it a rhetorical question, or was that a legit question?
Or no, a like a legit question. What you do this week?
Oh, okay. Well, like I wasn't sure if that was one of those like
no,
you asked it and it was like I know it's bad. Oh, okay. Well, it was announced. It was announced. See, I'm not. I couldn't see your face, so I couldn't read into because I'm looking at the results here. It was announced backstage. They were talking to Lana about being sole survivor, and then pretty much she should get something because she's the announcer or interviewer says what's next for Lana, maybe a title shot because she's a sole survivor, and Lana says she can't even wait a minute, she can't even think of that right now. She wants to live in the moment. That's what she says. When did they announce it? Whatever it was announced that it was Asuka versus Lana for the women's championship later in the night. I was like, oh, this is it. No. Adam Pearce announces that there's going to be a series of 3 singles matches tonight, with the winners will meet next Monday in a triple threat to be the new number 1 contender. This was the good thing about the show. There was matches that, were all meaning something, leading to something. So there was some importance there. Somehow they were doing this like back and forth. Adam was talking, and then like Randy Orton would come up, cut to another thing, cut back to Adam. Bobby Lashley comes up.
Oh yeah, I heard about
that. And then so Pierce makes this. It was funny. Pierce makes the decision saying, "Oh, the first match is going to be Sheamus and Riddle, and that starts now." And then immediately cut, and Riddle's music's playing, Riddle's coming out, and I said to myself, in the legit world, how would Riddle know to be there and get ready for his match? If he just came up with the idea, right now, I sat there and went,
it's just like it's the freaking little things like that just annoy me.
Normally, maybe
it's just like
it wouldn't make any sense. Anyways,
no,
I was just like,
it does.
So it's Riddle and Sheamus. We had Matt Riddle wins.
Wow, okay, interesting.
Matt rules.
Was that clean?
Yes. Sheamus, it says here, Sheamus was applying a Clover 8 submission, and I think Riddle somehow rolled that in, counted that into a pin to win.
Huh. Interesting.
So it was clean, yes.
So it was him. Then
okay. I'm sorry, I got to clear up a thing. Oscar approached Lana backstage and asked if she wanted a title shot. And I guess that leads to it. Anyways, um,
Yeah.
the other
Who were who were
the other
other
two were okay, we'll come back to that. I forgot that happened. Lashley versus Keith Lee.
I'm assuming Lashley won.
No, Keith Lee by DQ.
Okay.
But Keith Lee advances. We had I'll go to the third one later. We had Lana versus Asuka, which wasn't long at all.
I'm not surprised. But let me guess. Nia Jax and Shayna somehow got involved, right?
They were. It came out. It came out ringside before of it. For disqualification. Then they challenged for a tag team match. It was Nia Jax, Baszler versus Lana and Asuka. Asuka and Lana get the win. Asuka rolls up Baszler for the pin. Then the low key best part of the night, non wrestling thing was a backstage segment with Riddle and MVP, and
Riddle
coming up. I laughed. It was the best thing. Riddle's coming up with all these like stupid ideas for franchise, and MVP is just like looking at him with disgust, and so obviously Riddle's calling him bro, and MVP goes, "I'm not your bro," and Riddle with the most sincere just went, "Oh." And MVP had to pause because he was going to bust out laughing. You have to watch it. It was the greatest thing. Everybody enjoyed it. I was just laughing because it was the right comedic timing from Riddle. Out of everything else he said in that segment, could have been garbage, but that was just it was funny. It was hilarious. It was the best one of the best non-wrestling moments of the night. And anyways. We got Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss. This was just excellent by Bliss. Just messing with Cross. Near the end of the match, Bliss just starts pretending to be not under the trance, starts crying and just pleading for apology for Nikki, and Nikki believes it, and then you see that it turns to a smile, that evil smile from Alexa Bliss, and then as they're hugging, goes to her, she smiles and then goes right into the Sister Abigail and gets the win. Okay. It was good with you. That's Alexa Bliss is nailing it. It was good. Excellent stuff here by Bliss. And then the final match was Randy Orton and AJ Styles. AJ Styles wins. And then
I'm
guessing the Fiend was distracting Orton 2 times. He was outside when Orton was outside. He was out he popped from behind the barricade, and then another time he appeared on the apron. And then AJ Styles, I believe, hit the phenomenal forearm to get the win. And then next week, you probably saw on Smackdown, it was announced for Monday, Orton is going to be on the Moment of Bliss. So we'll get the Orton Fiend feud and AJ Styles versus Keith Lee versus Riddle for the #1 contendership next week.
All right.
So not the worst Raw, but
it
was no Smackdown.
Yeah.
You to cover Survivor Series real quick.
Yeah. So just some overall thoughts. And I know that we're going to disagree on this, but I hated both of the Survivor Series elimination tags. Absolutely hated them.
I'm not going to disagree that much.
Okay. I thought with the guys that it made zero sense. Somehow Team Raw can somehow sweep Team SmackDown, but they cannot beat Retribution. Tell me how that makes any sense. And I'm like, so with like Jay, he's been one of the more consistently booked guys that they have, but he can't pin like Riddle, who has been essentially a like nobody on like SmackDown or on like Raw at this point. He can't pin Strowman. No one else on the team. No one. So that just I just really hated how they booked that. And for the actual match itself, I mean like Matt, this is how badly that freaking Seth hates Riddle. He was like, no, just take me out. Just take me out of the match. Seems just broke kicks him. He was like, see it. I
totally forgot, or did I miss when there was heat between them two?
Like this has been a thing for a while now because basically Seth said in some interview that he basically refuses to work at any time with him, and this goes back to a story where supposedly Riddle's wife body shamed Becky Lynch, and from that, and also Riddle has really criticized Seth as
hilarious
as a performer. On top of that, so yeah,
I must not be paying attention.
Yeah, it's just
that's funny,
like stupid, but like it's on Seth Rollins. So yeah. Are you kind of in agreement with me as far as that is concerned? I
would have in hindsight would have preferred. I don't know if wait, who was the last one to get eliminated in?
It was
SmackDown. Was it okay? Then that's exactly what I was going to say. Well, okay, I would have. Maybe not a clean. Maybe I would have had a clean sweep, but I still would have had Jay lose to keep that thing with Roman. I don't know if I would have done a clean sweep,
and that's fine. But yeah, it's just like I just didn't get that. But at least it added into the overall story of like him and like Roman. I was like, well, at least I got something out of that.
Yeah, him losing wasn't the worst thing because it continued.
No, it was
the story. Yeah.
I just hated how they got there. And
I enjoyed
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, no, just
okay.
Continue.
And for the freaking women's match,
I got to see it.
In the words of Conrad Thompson, Bruce, who booked this shit?
My girl Lana. I knew she was going to be the sole survivor.
Like, okay, first of all,
I would have won money.
The first person to get pinned was the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. She gets pinned. They don't count her out. They don't get her DQ'd. They just freaking pin her. How does that make any sense? We won't protect her, but we will fucking protect Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, who, and if someone says, well, they are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Yeah, because clearly this company has given yeah.
Is that what I sound like?
No. But it was like, but they are the Women's Tag Team Champions because clearly this company gives a single shit about those titles. I just between that and
that's the main story angle on Raw right now. So they do care.
It still sucks. And,
Lana and Asuka are going to be your tag team champions.
God help me. But
it's going to happen. DLC. I'm booking it.
It just like that just made no sense, and I hated that. Why are they choking out Bianca Belair? Like I'm fine with her getting counted out. Fine, I didn't have a problem.
Didn't she get counted out?
Yeah, yeah, she got
Yeah,
counted out because if you recall, she
yeah.
clotheslined
She
up.
knocked. Yeah,
I was completely fine with that.
yeah.
It was before when Shayna choked her out on the bottom rope and she kept on holding and then I'm choking and she got
I don't.
I hated that.
I
But
I don't mind her. I don't mind her passing out. If she tapped out, then we're
no,
riding.
it's a lot
I
worse.
was
But I
I just don't like the sequence of it. I just don't like Shayna. I just don't like how it came off of. See, Shayna being pissed and not releasing a hold fits her character, but it just didn't come off. Everything didn't come
no,
off well.
no,
It was poorly. I think it was the
executed.
wrong spot to do it in.
And into with the wrong person because to me they need to protect Bianca as much as possible.
I
And
think
as much.
I
I do I did not want her
well wait it was
looking at all in here again.
well I don't know if she lose I don't know if she weak I'm always okay with them passing out and that now if it was anybody else on the team and they didn't tap out I see now see if you were going to do that I'm like on the top of my head thinking stuff on the fly if you're going to do that right I would have see it sucks in this type of match you know when I would have something to compare it to I would have like Shayna choke make people one or two other people tap
Live
right
or like Ruby Riot. Do it
live
one
that
of those
but
two.
but if you're still going to have but if you're still going to have no I agree but if you're still going to have Bianca be a victim of that hold then compared to the one or two other people she doesn't tap out and that match still technically continues after she's doing that if you're going to
Yeah,
go that way but
I just don't think that was a great look just because like it's clear they are setting her up for bigger things and I just didn't understand why they were protecting Shayna and like Nia and like not her more but this
I
freaking ending I'm
I
just
don't
like you saw it coming. You predicted. I'm like, I'm going to be highly annoyed, and sure enough, I
I
freaking was. You called that shit.
I could have told I it I'm surprised you didn't see well you don't watch so
Yes, exactly.
but but you just it's easy to tell and I mean it's not always a bad thing to be able to know it but um I I don't know I saw Lana and she's got her Chronicle which I kind of want to watch because it got into some real
Um, it
personal
did.
stuff.
I've heard some pretty like a mixed things. As far as the not with that, not with that thing specifically, but with like them, but then like making a like mental illness thing into a storyline. I know some
Well,
people who are like,
well, it's not a. I don't think. Well, I don't know if it's a storyline, right?
I
It's
mean,
not.
she was crying on the outside, pretty much throughout
Well,
entire match. So,
that's just bullying right now. That's not
yeah,
more
yeah. It's
mental
just
illness. That's
I
not
just
mental. That's not mental illness, or not mental illness,
well, I
but
think
mental.
well, yeah. It just I know some people are
I
really crazy about it. I'll just say that.
I think they're playing on the fact that it's Lana and everybody views her as not good, so they're playing the fact that playing that into the storyline, and then Lana's just like winning and gonna take down the big bad bullies, if you will. Um, but the critical stuff, that's like real stuff that people deal with, and like that's like that stuff is not like Shayna and Diana's not going, oh, you're upset at all the mean words all the people on the internet are saying, you're upset that you're hot. Like they're not doing that. If they did that, okay, that's one thing. But I don't know. Anyways, we I think we went too long on the women's match.
Yeah,
I will say the non-elimination matches were the best part of the show. Obviously. Did we lose John? Are you still there?
No. No.
I was waiting for something. Oh,
sorry. I was reading something and I just.
Okay, I was like, oh God, it happened.
No.
It happened.
Okay, all right, get it back on track here. So the other things, what'd you think of like New Day versus Street Profits?
One of my favorite matches on the show.
Yeah, definitely second for me for sure.
Yes.
Just a really fun match.
With the first one, we all know what the first one's going to be.
Obviously, Street Profits booked really strong here. Yeah, I didn't have any issue, and there was at least some angle behind this, and it wasn't completely dry, unlike Oscar versus Sasha. So yeah, I didn't really have any issue. Really good match. Street Profits put over strong, and that's probably is the best tag title match we're going to be getting until like who knows when, because as we look at the rest of the field, it's not good. So
yeah, we had Lashley beat Zayn. I thought exactly how it was going to go. Zayn was doing all he can to win, all the dastardly deeds, trying to pin MVP that he's tripping him. MVP did the Tomlin thing.
And then Lashley, he pins him, boom. That's it.
That's what I thought. Sasha defeats Asuka. She gets that monkey off her back.
Yeah, I did not give a single shit about this match. Just there was no story, no reason. I just did not care. And for the actual match itself, it was fine. I just didn't have.
I'm just saying I enjoyed the I just enjoyed the match. I kind of put that. I really enjoyed the match, but we get to Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns.
This was a straight up fight. Like these guys just beat the shit out of each other. And man, Matt, I gotta say, Roman gave Drew a ton in this match. And honestly, I did not expect Drew to kick out as much as he did. Like I think he kicked out of 2 spears. He needed a freaking an interference, a ref bump, like even in a lost year match, Drew came out of this looking pretty damn good, if you ask me. Here,
they protected his finisher.
Yep, he never hit his finisher, or if he did, it was off of a ref bump, right? That was when he hit it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so, yes.
So shenanigans. Yeah, they did that. They protected Roman's new submission finisher, his guillotine. Drew never tapped. He passed out.
Passes out. Which is kind of how we thought that was going to go.
I think I pretty much called it guillotine pass out.
Yep.
Because there you go.
Which that was perfectly fine. These guys, it was just a very hard-hitting, fun, a very good story told here. Hell, there was a few times where I thought like Drew might actually win here. That was how good that this match was.
See, I would have been. Yeah, I don't know. I expected Roman the whole
Yeah,
time, and I would have been shocked. I
I
would
would
have
be
got a
shocked.
reaction. Um,
Yeah, it just
I
uh, just as I said, Matt. Anything Roman touches is going to be freaking good. It just he's incapable of having any bad matches. Like he's at that
or
point now.
any bad segments. Yeah,
He is the best wrestler in the world. He's the best overall character. Just everything going. He's the guy
I think he's in the best overall
without
storyline story
question.
wise. Without yes, and
Without question. And it's
you raise anything else up, I will look at you weird.
yeah, just not like just
There's
he.
second. There's good second placers, but
Mhm.
it's a distant
Yeah,
second.
like like even anything on Dynamite, no one's even touching him right now.
No,
Like
nothing on
they're
Dynamite. The only
NXT.
thing, the, the only thing, the only thing close. Okay, I'm just going to use strictly in the company.
Mhm.
Would be anything involving Pat McAfee
Yeah.
and his stuff,
Uh-huh.
even
Yep.
in the company close.
Yep.
You can say that's on the level. You could probably say Wide and Bliss with their segments being just good. Like they're the best thing
They
on
just have
Raw.
they just have one major flaw, Matt. They are on Monday Night
Um,
Raw. They're on
but
Monday Night
that, but that's but they're still doing good stuff on and make
Raw. Right.
they're the most solid booked, entertaining, good segments on that show.
Absolutely.
Same thing with Roman. On Dynamite, and we can, if you don't mind, we could pivot on to Dynamite.
Yep. Let's just say
Anything
right
that's I don't know what's the closest thing on that would be. I don't know.
I'm like a
I don't
Moxley.
know.
I think like Moxley would probably be the closest right now, as just from a character and just strictly kayfabe. If we're just talking about that, I think he is the closest guy to him right now. But he's not touching.
No,
He's untouchable.
no, nothing on that show right now is touching Roman.
But I will say though, Matt, there as far as like this week's show, it was more of like table setting for obviously for like
Next
next
week.
week's show,
Yeah.
which is being dubbed as Winter is Coming.
They
And
can get away.
yeah,
They can get away with that, right? Yeah, they're under the
yep,
same branch. Yeah. Okay, they're good.
HBO, yep, they
Yep, they're
sure
good.
can.
They
It's
they
like
can get away with that.
yeah, and
Somewhere an attorney got excited and went, "Oh wait, no, they're
yep,
with us."
they're all under the same umbrella there.
Yes.
But man, like there were some good things on the show, but some things they were I was just like,
I,
ugh,
I,
too.
I'm gonna let's play a little game here. I'm gonna say there's only one segment I fast forward. Can you guess what it was?
The women.
No, it was not. No, it wasn't that.
Let's see.
It wasn't the win.
Was it? Was it Kippy and Mira?
Yep. As soon as I saw, I was like, nope. And
That was my second. That was my second guess.
So I was watching this at my laptop on the DVR while I was watching the match, the golf match between Peyton and Stephen Curry and Charles Barkley and Phil Mickelson. Like I didn't know it was on until like today, so I was like, crap, I can't sit here and watch that and then watch Dynamite later. I'm not gonna have no time. So I was watching both. And so like I'm watching that segment with Miro and them. And so you can't like obviously, with the remote, you can just hit like fast forward like how many times and you can see it. I only could do like 30-second intervals. And
Yeah.
I hit 30 seconds and all of a sudden I see the best friends attack them. And I have the volume down so I don't hear the context. And all of a sudden the camera gets grabbed by Miro and I just see him screaming into it. I went, what?
Yeah, it's just
I don't know.
anything involving that dude is just horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But let's start from the very beginning. So this
Yes.
show kicked off with Hangman versus John Silver, which went entirely too long. And I'm not sure why they gave John Silver so much offense in this match. I really, I really ranted about this during
I
the show here. I just did not understand that there.
I might say something that I don't know if it's hot take. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know why John Silver's in the Dark Order in his current gimmick. He doesn't like fit the Dark Order.
Well, they're kind of like playing all off of like PTE, where they're kind of a like comedy thing right now. And that's
Yeah, and that's why. And that see, I just don't like it. I don't think anybody in that Dark Order should be on that show to protect the Dark Order, especially John Silver. Can he work? Yes. From what I saw on there, phenomenal. I don't think the comedy thing works with the Dark Order. Like it should. I don't know. I feel like the Dark Order should be more serious and dark and ordery. I'm just making words up. Wait, Brody is injured, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has an ankle injury or.
Okay. Yeah. I they're missing Brody Lee. I will say they're missing Brody Lee.
By far. And I would imagine he should be back soon. I am interested to see what they're doing with Hangman, because as you saw after the match, with the Dark Order, it looks like they're trying to recruit him. So I mean, like they have tried this before, but like this time it actually feels like a actual offer, sort of thing. But it's just I don't think he's going to actually join, because to me, I think this whole thing with him is going to be about like, oh, he's going to be a constant like a lone wolf sort of thing, because basically everyone has deserted him and such. So
yeah, played off that. I don't. I'm over the Dark Order recruiting thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know me. I'm soured on the Dark Order.
Oh yeah, I don't really care about that too much either. So,
like I'm like I was like, eh. Well, depending on how they can, they could salvage something out of it. But I would be shocked if he goes, okay, I'll join the Dark Order. Not like that, but you know what I'm saying. If he joins, I'm just like, and then So what was next? Do you have them up?
I don't actually.
Okay. Oh yeah, here they are. I have them here. Omega is talking with Marvez backstage. He wants to face Moxley, leave the garbage wrestling at home. Just a straight one-on-one match. Pretty much is the whole the gist of that with that. So I'm interested to see that. I'm kind of happy. I bet. Yeah, I'm interested to see that match next week if it's just straight up one-on-one. I like how they played into that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that was good. What was that?
Hobbs and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lee Johnson.
So definitely I'm loving Hobbs with him Taz.
How you like the name?
I like it. It definitely stands out a little bit more, and to me, and someone was telling me, or like like Hobbs, he is on all of the of these steroids right now. I'm like, probably wouldn't surprise me, but I mean, it's at least something now because as a baby face, I felt like he was just incredibly stale and not really there.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel with it. I'm lukewarm on it, right? Like it has to grow on me. I'm on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have got away with him not changing his name and just acting the way he is now, just the attitude change. I don't know. It might grow on me, but like that's like not the biggest thing, right? Biggest gripe. I mean, if that's the only gripe I have, but good squash match, excellent. Did what it was supposed to do, obviously. And then we had Taz cut a promo after the match about the FTW championship and it not having the respect it should have, calling out management. His mic gets cut off twice. Cody Rhodes comes out. Let's see here. It pretty much says that next him and Darby versus Starks and Hobbs will go down next week. Is that good enough? And Taz goes, that's not why he's out here. He goes, he wants management to put some respect on the championship. And Cody does the management saying he'll run it up the flagpole. And I think Taz says the line, "What are you going to tell me next, Cody? Creative has nothing for me." Cody gets upset, goes in the ring, and makes it personal, saying it. I forget how he said it, but goes something. If you're so good or whatever, why is Hook training with your son? Hook training with me and not you? Or, I forget the exact line. That was a nice. I didn't know that, and I didn't even know he really had a son, or his name was Hook. But anyways, that's besides the point. And Taz just pissed because that was dumb. You're gonna pay for that. Cody looks in the camera, says, "Let's cut it. Let's cut this segment. Let's go to commercial." And Taz comes back and hits the Taz mission. And the Gun Club and Dustin Rhodes come out, and Taz with his son, that I didn't even know he was there. I don't know where he came from. Regardless, comes and they walk away. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this segment by far.
Yeah, but I will say though, Cody came off like a complete asshole in this thing here.
It came off as a management ass.
Yeah, which it was really intriguing to me. Now, I mean, like anything going on with Taz's group right now, I'm really intrigued with. And now obviously adding Cody in here could bring up some potentially interesting things. So, and definitely adding Taz's son, who, by the way, I didn't even know that Taz even had a son. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And it just kind of reminds me again, man. I'm like saying to myself, like, why was Taz never on TV more in the last 15 years? Like, man, it's just such a great talker.
He did have his own radio show.
He did
before. It just the only weird thing about this segment. Think about it is how long was Cody training Hook? Because if you're feuding, why would Taz allow him to? Well, because they weren't really feuding before, so maybe
no. They would like run into each other here and there, but they weren't actually.
Yeah, so that's okay. That's I'm thinking out loud. So okay, I'm like saying, how does that make sense? But it kind of makes sense. So backstage, Marvez it was like all Marvez today. Marvez is interviewing Eddie Kingston about Death Triangle reforming. with Penta and Phoenix leaving the family. Kingston said he's disappointed Penta left. Phoenix leaving doesn't surprise him at all. And he says that Pac, Ping Pong, Ping, whatever his name is.
Mhm.
I like that line. Said a lot of things have changed since he was around. Things ain't over. And then Moxley appears from behind Marvez. They stare at each other. Moxley doesn't say anything. All that Kingston says is that it wasn't him that ambushed him, but you know who it is. He's got his own stuff going on now, and he's got his own stuff going on now. And no words were said by Moxley, and he just like nods and walks away.
Yep. I mean, like, it just shows me. It just shows you, man. On the freaking dime, Eddie can just immediately just change his whole persona. And
Eddie is, yeah. Besides Taz, he's like my favorite talker on this show by far.
Yeah, easily by far. I would also put in there Ricky Stark as well. He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Top Flight and the Hybrid too.
Yeah, but I did not really care about this, to be perfectly honest. Just
I was in it.
It was essentially what I expected. TH2 wins. I'm guessing they're probably are going to be getting a tag title shot here soon. But
I just can't stand TH2. I can't stand them.
Same right there, man. Same.
I hate their entrance. I want to smack them. Maybe that's the point, but I can't. There was at points seemed like at points almost a little sloppy at times in this match, from what I remember. A couple spots that I saw like, wait a minute. But yeah, so the TH2 wins via submission. I almost don't like them tapping out.
I'm not a big suffer about that, just because, too, Matt, they are extremely young, and I think to expect really much of anything is like because the whole thing is like them just trying to get their feet wet, sort of thing. And so I wasn't mad about that. I just didn't like that they were actually working with these guys, just because I think for a young team such as themselves up against them, it's
I know
it really didn't do anything for them, you know.
I you can pin them, it's fine. I don't know if you're building them up. I somehow I don't know. I just was surprised they tapped out. Then we get a promo backstage on Vicky and Nia Rose, talking about what happened last week with Brandy and Jade Cargill. I didn't listen to this because I lost. I don't take anything Nia Rose does seriously, because anytime she's in a big match, she does not win.
Yep. Same here.
I was like, I'm not missing anything here. Nice promo backstage by FTR. Yeah, pretty much. You remember this, talking about they're going to get there. That was nice. I don't know how to don't know if I have to summarize it, but people watched it. Then we had Jericho, Jake Hager versus Daniels and Kazarian, with Jericho and Hager winning by pinfall. With a bunch of distractions from outside, which, as expected.
Yeah, it was very entertaining just seeing MJF and like Wardlow and all of them just interacting there. So I like that. A solid tag match, and obviously, Chris Jericho, he wins after a like distraction, or basically MJF punched him. I think it was it Kazarian, or I forget who, but yeah, and that
punches Daniels.
Okay, yeah, and that
with the diamond ring, yeah.
Which, by the way, they also announced for next week they are going to be having a diamond ring battle royal, which is the same battle royal that MJF, which is the same one that MJF won last year. Which I have a feeling that they might be having Sammy win this to kind of start to build him, possibly separating from the group to create some dissension there.
Well, it still maybe builds that feud between MJF and Sammy. But you know what? I'm glad Scorpio Sky, after the match, Scorpio Sky came down with a chair, because being outnumbered, how many to one, really did barely take the trick. They all bowed out of the ring. I just laugh at that. When it's like all these people against one person like that, still chair makes the difference, but that always happens. Then we had the Kip Sabian Miro debuting a new show, the Miro and Kip video game extravaganza. Orange Cassidy walks in, turns off the video game, the system, walks out. I guess I'm reading this like for the first time because I didn't see it. Miro and Sabian chase after him, but Trent and Chuck Taylor attack them from behind, and they battle and stuff. And then Miro screams into the camera for some reason. So that was a segment that aired on TV.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
Yeah. So, what is there to talk about? Contract signing time between Kenny and Moxley. Omega comes out doing his entrance, but before he comes out with the silhouette, Moxley walks up. You see Moxley come from behind and attack him. Just beat the holy hell out of him. Fight in the ring. Moxley hits the paradigm shift on the title. Moxley saying whoever Omega hired him last week to take him out did a terrible job because he's still standing. He said he thought the beef between them was squashed, but now things are now even. The only way Omega's going to take the title is to reach deep down and be the guy all the fans think he is. Win, lose, or draw, winter is coming for you, Kenny. That's a quote from him. And if he comes at the King, he better not miss. And he signs the contract. And that's it, pretty much. Summarize that segment.
Yeah.
Anything?
I mean, like, I definitely like the segment overall, and it does raise the question of who attacked Moxley. And after how Tonight's show ended, we can throw out Archer's name. So there has been rumors that possibly Kenta might have attacked him, which if that happens, that should be interesting. But yeah, this I feel really sold their match. But I will admit, though, I'm not as confident that Kenny is going over next week. I'm still picking him, but I'm not as confident as it was a week or so ago.
I'm with person attacking him that's not Kenny. I think I'm more confident. I see that person either maybe costing Moxley the match or something. I don't know, but or attacks him after, or they attack him after the match, something to close the show, and then that's everybody's going to be like, OMG, it's insert question, whatever. It was announced Jericho Jericho says it's going to be him versus Kazarian next week for the first time ever. So that's there. Then we had Sheeta versus Anna Jay for the women's championship.
This wasn't too bad. Anna Jay has definitely gotten a lot better, and is honestly one of the few women I wouldn't mind seeing them. I wouldn't mind seeing them more of. Although I did feel like that this was kind of short.
It did seem short.
Yeah, it felt short, but anyways,
good. Your champion getting a somewhat convincing win.
Yeah, but then we had Abaddon come out. I'm like, oh god, Jesus, and as I recalled her from the last time seeing her, it wasn't good. So it's just like her whole gimmick, man. I feel like it just has such a small ceiling that it's not going to really last. And just from how little I've seen of her, and just from how little that I've seen of her, I'm not very impressed.
See, the problem with a gimmick like that is that if it's obviously she's kind of supernatural zombie, is that it's almost a problem either Undertaker discussed this, at least with his character, you're supernatural if the chase is almost better than defending, because how is someone going to beat you?
Right.
And that's almost in the Fiend territory too, Undertaker Fiend, because has she lost even on Darker?
I honestly, I'm not sure, but on Dynamite,
if she's lost before, then this is
from what I heard from what I've heard from some friends of mine who have seen her. They said that she's extremely green. It's just really, just that, and that's
the gimmick trying to cover up.
Yeah, and as I said, the thing just has such a short ceiling that it's going to be hard for that thing to really get over, and especially without any crowd, it's kind of hard. You know?
I'm afraid what this match will be like. Yeah, that's why I'm saying. I mean, I wasn't as upset because I felt like it's something different, but I don't know. A lot of people like her. I like her. I don't know. I don't remember the last time she hasn't been on for a while. Was she hurt? She was legit hurt, right?
Yeah. She took a really nasty bump, I think, on. She was supposed to be on Dynamite a month or so ago, but apparently when they were taping,
right. Yeah.
She took a really nasty fall. And it wasn't good. It just because I think they actually had to rush her to the hospital there.
Yep. So that's that, and then we got backstage. Ricky Starks calling a promo, saying he likes being AEW, being treated well by, Tony and all that, but he hates Cody. Thinks his ego gets in the way. So they he's pretty much hyping this match about against Cody and Darby next week.
I tell you, man, he is one of currently one of my favorite promos right now. The man just brings such intensity and charisma.
Yeah. You know who should never talk out of the three?
Cage.
I watched him the whole time. It's like he's uncomfortable.
There's a reason. There's a reason why they put him with Taz. Eric has told me yeah, Eric has told me when he would see him at PWG's, just like he just was never a good talker. Just
No.
he's definitely fine in the background, but definitely having Taz there.
But sometimes
really
he doesn't know what he doesn't know what to do with
right. Yeah, yeah.
with his like Hobbs just was that calm, not calm, but like that just that had that look, menacing look. Ricky was the talker, and
whereas
like that meathead.
Hobbs, though, like he came off like a freaking monster here. Like he looked really, really damn good here. He definitely has something to him. He definitely has a certain amount of charisma. I do think though
the heel right now is work. It gives him something to do. And he's got that mass that he's good to be that. He fits this group because it's just a whole bunch of just big guy. Well, 2 out of 3 are big guys, and it's just Brian Cage is just like that jock.
Ricky does all of the talking, which he should because there's outside of like Moxley, Eddie Kingston and probably a few more guys. I mean, he is right up there. He's right up there. So yeah. So they are having a tag team match. So it'll be Hobbs and like Ricky Starks versus Cody and Darby Allin for next week. Very interested to see how they book that. There, maybe they will actually have Cody lose this week and not the TNT champion. But hey, so then after this was this
main event.
So we had a tag team match between like Pac and Phoenix.
You mean Pac Pack Bing Bang Boom? In the words of Eddie Kingston. Pac Pack Bing Bang Boom.
I was like, if he did not say that,
stay with me, John.
If he did not say that, I would have slapped you so badly right now.
Oh, but if Eddie Kingston can say it, I can say it.
Right,
now.
Because Eddie is a fucking badass. But so Eddie, he was on commentary.
I'm a badass.
Him and Schiavone just constantly going back and forth. It's just freaking hilarious. And like JR just like kind of chiming in, and he's kind of nervous to like talk over Eddie Kingston, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know about you, Matt, but I was stunned that they actually had Airbnb win a freaking match. I almost fell out of like my freaking seat when I saw that. And
it happened. So.
And to an even bigger surprise, who comes out and saves them is Lance Archer. I'm like, what the? But then I was like, oh, hey, but him and Eddie have like had some like beef for quite some time now. So I was like, okay,
I don't recall.
Well, if like you would watch everything, like maybe you would know.
I watch. The only thing they said is Archer eliminated. Did they say Archer eliminated Kingston from that battle royal?
Yeah, it goes all the way back for that and him.
I was like,
and him talking trash.
Hey,
like Archer before.
If that's the case, there shouldn't be any beef because Eddie was not eliminated. Watch the tape, John.
But if you recall though, Archer he tested positive for COVID, so who took his title shot away from him first? That was Eddie Kingston. So he would then have some beef with him. So I'm guessing that they turn Archer face here. That should be interesting.
I'm still down on Archer. They need to change my mind.
I love this man in like New Japan, and I'm sticking with my guy here. So I am having.
But this is not New Japan. No, that's fine. I just don't like. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, man.
So you were flipping me off, but it sounded like you choked on something. You seemed like you got the worst of that.
Sorry.
What are we?
And,
5.
anyways, guys, that was AEW Dynamite, a huge show for next week. As we said, Moxley versus
talking about this show
for next week. Next week.
I jumped.
December 2nd,
I jumped to conclusions in my mind.
Yes. So obviously, Moxley versus Kenny for the AEW Championship, which is probably their biggest title match in their short company's history. We also have the Diamond Ring Battle Royal, Chris Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian, and Darby Allin and Cody versus Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. So yeah, that should be a pretty interesting show. I'm also very interested to see what the potential viewership of that show will be there. So yeah, I'm very excited for next week's show. And now, Matt, let's lastly get into some NXT talk.
Yes.
So overall thoughts. What you think of this?
I thought it was their one of the better shows they put on in some time.
And I'll say this, Matt. I felt like this was. I felt like that they had a better show than Dynamite this week. So a very good show.
And the Nick Cage voice, that's high praise. If anybody gets at SNL sketch. So we opened the show with Ember Moon versus Candice LeRae with Indy Hartwell. With Candice getting the win with after Moon hits the eclipse on Hartwell, and LeRae takes advantage of that, hitting the super kick and then the wicked stepsister on Moon for the pin. All this going on when the referee was distracted with Dakota Kai and Gonzalez out of the ring. So yeah, we got Candice winning. And then before we move on to what happened after, thoughts on the match real quick, or anything at all.
A very good match, no complaints.
Yep.
Pretty much essentially everything that you said there.
Yeah, a good solid women's match on NXT. So after their Moon gets gets out of the ring to avoid the attack, and Toni Storm comes out to help her, going, okay, let's go in and let's get them. But as Moon goes in the ring, Toni Storm pulls Moon out and attacks Moon and throws her into the steel steps, and then tosses Moon back into the ring when she's attacked by Candice, Dakota, and Quell. And
needless to say, I was a little bit surprised by this.
The Storm turn.
But I really liked it, and my God, her in like leather. Yes.
Leather in all the right places, yes. 10. So,
but just a which and I think we all had a feeling he was going to be on like Shotzi's team, just based on what they had advertised. I was like, yeah, they're probably adding Rhea into this here. So
yeah, which is fine.
Which now that, I mean, like, both of these freaking like War Games matches look really damn good right now. Yep, I'm really excited for both of these right now. But yes, a very good table setting for that match right there.
Yeah. Got a backstage thing about Legado del Fantasma. They're talking about their domination, pretty much, I guess, their domination of the cruiserweight title, how they're building it back up. Apparently, that's who's next, and apparently, I thought they were joking, but I guess it's somebody from. I was on 205 Live, but Santos isn't worried, and they're gonna. When they say they're gonna do something, they're gonna get it done. Still love this group. Santos, I likes my tweets. Let me tell you, it's the second one.
I was like, man,
He's searching for himself again.
Oh yeah, without doubt. He must really he must really like you now, Matt.
I followed him, so we're following him on the account.
Fucking kiss.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will kiss that man's ass all day, every day. Wait a minute. No, he's phenomenal. I think I like their group. I mean,
yeah,
they're doing something with that like title. It's not like it's on somebody who's kind of just there, but there's like a group, and he's a dominant champion. He looks like $1 million. I like it.
It's definitely a good way to bring back some credibility for that title because I mean, before Triple H really took this to NXT as like, man, that title was, oh god, like especially when Enzo wasn't champion, like there were some really like dark days there, but they're finally are doing well by that.
Yeah. Then we had Undisputed Era come out, cut a promo. Adam Cole cut like a great promo on Pat McAfee and all that. What's some of the highlights here?
That would you agree that ever since they brought in like McAfee's group that this is completely has completely rejuvenized the Undisputed Era because I feel like those guys came in that they were getting kind of stale.
They were. I think it was kind of. Plus there was I think there was probably numerous injuries throughout the time, but it kind of was just Adam Cole, and everybody else, and they because I think Undisputed Era did so much for so long that like they gave other people a shot, and they kind of were there. But now Pat McAfee, that's his storyline is kind of just new life.
And also too, I think it's pretty clear now. Kyle, he is like a number 2 in this faction now for sure. He's really has stepped it up. I really want to see him more in singles. Once this is done here, because I really do think he did really well. I felt in his title match and something Balor, and they added some credibility with him when Adam was saying he broke Finn's jaw and kept him on the shelf for a month or so. So like they were just kind of really just reiterating just like how like vicious that they can be.
And I liked O'Reilly was kind of like at least in the first half of this, kind of like not joking around, but kind of happy-go-lucky kind of in a way. But when they were talking about his opponent for Dunn tonight, O'Reilly just like a switch went off and O'Reilly got serious. It says you all saw what happened at Halloween Havoc. So he needs to fight. He's insistent and he needs to fight it. And Cole says they have no problem with this. They like this O'Reilly. It's for the rest of this promo. You just see O'Reilly like pacing back and forth, like just focus. So I think that was a nice little thing there for O'Reilly. And yeah, pretty much a promo by Adam Cole. Excellent promo by Adam there.
Yeah,
Um,
per the usual.
yep, yeah, shocker.
Yeah.
Kenzie Mitchell was backstage. Apparently, is dating Vic Joseph. Congratulations for Vic Joseph. Kind of
Very good career choice.
yeah. I guess made it public. I don't know. Anyways, side note. They're talking to Candice backstage with Dakota and Raquel. I'm sorry. Candice asks Raquel and Dakota if they're in, then they say yes. And then Tony Storm comes off from the side, and she says she promised the show. I promised a Storm when she returned, or a new side of her. So she's officially with Candice on the War Games match.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Kushida versus Timothy Thatcher, with Kushida getting another win.
I'm liking what they're doing with him. He's strung together some wins here. Gotta think he's gotta be a potential title challenger for Finn Balor. I feel like that they're kind of setting the table for that, honestly,
Yeah.
because as I currently look at everything right now, Matt, as far as like future challengers for Balor. Now, obviously, if like God, Scarlet and I'm carrying Cross come back. Obviously, Carrion, he's getting a title shot there, but
yeah, right, yeah, because he never lost it.
Right. But if it's on him, gotta think it's gotta be Kushida right now, because as you look around Ciampa, he's obviously is being tied up with like Thatcher. Johnny, he's involved with
Priest and Ruff,
with all of those guys there. So,
I mean, if because I would think there's going to be a contender match after Takeover down the line with whoever doesn't win the North American title. You would think one of those two.
Honestly,
Kushida.
I wouldn't mind Damian Priest being thrusted into there as well.
I think maybe you can see maybe like the winner of Ciampa Thatcher is in there is a contender, you would think. So yeah, there's a lot of things, but Kushida's getting wins though, so I would expect him.
And also, I don't think now that we have seen Ciampa versus Finn 1-on-1 yet either. So that's a fresh match. I'm pretty sure that they haven't faced yet in singles action. So that's also something that they can do as well. Then.
Yeah, but throughout this match, Ciampa was kind of just sitting ringside, just paying attention to Thatcher. I enjoyed this match because I think these two styles of Kushida and Thatcher worked well together in this match. I really enjoyed this. I think they worked well together in this match. It was kind of
Well, like Kushida, it helps. He's a former MMA fighter, so like he's like really like grappling here. It really fits with
Kushida. Yeah, Kushida was doing some of the rough stuff too, but at the same time was doing the like quick high flying stuff too, and it really worked. And a second thing too, Matt. And this is something I have like really noticed compared to him over in like Japan. Kushida is freaking jacked. you could tell he's definitely put on some weight and put
tons of muscle for sure. He definitely looks a lot more menacing now. That's for sure. I mean, especially compared to guys such as like Nakamura, who was more like graceful, I would say, whereas like Kushida comes off like he's just a like fighter,
badass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Ciampa kind of distracts Thatcher by standing up in ringside enough for Kushida to apply a hoverboard lock. So that was the finish there, and like we said, Kushida wins. I like the visual at the end with Ciampa saying, talking to the camera, I wonder if Thatcher has a problem with it now, and Thatcher being bad, and he had the blood in his face from the match. I thought that added to it. Good thing. It's never a bad thing. But Ciampa just being like, doesn't do anything, just like the cool calm, just and walk out, did his thing and left. So that was cool. Anything. There's a backstage segment with Dunn and Lorcan and Birch. The key thing out of this was they're saying Pat McAfee was not there because he was at home. Even I think they showed a clip of McAfee saying he wasn't going to be there on his show, which this is key for later on. Then we had the KO show with Kevin Owens because he was on commentary, and Kevin Owens give no F's given.
This is weird because like he was like fourth wall breaking throughout this whole entire thing. I was like, I'm not sure if this is really awkward or like really genius. It
was just the only Kevin Owens can pull this off because he didn't care because the chair's like, okay, let's sit. And he was like building up rough to saying he's got to have more conviction and stuff, and kind of like and Ruff was kind of Ruff was kind of saying things in a non-serious way, and Owens like, no, you got to do this way, like trying to build him up. And then what did he say? You guys, and he mentioned John. He goes, see, Kevin's like, well, you said his name, so anytime now his music's gonna come out. 3, 2, 1. Then it plays. I'm a little off, but it comes off, and then I think then Johnny comes out. He's complaining and talking, and he mentions Damian Priest, and he goes, well, he said he's gonna come out now. 3, 2, 1. But before that,
Johnny hates chairs.
No, like you just see Johnny gets to the ring and you see Kevin get a chair. And Johnny's like, "What is this?" He goes, "Well, you're in the ring. I'm a good host. Here's a chair. I'm a good host because I don't like chairs." Just tosses it out, and then Damian Priest comes out after that joke.
And like he brings in another chair.
Another chair. And Damon's like, "Oh, I don't need it," and goes, "Oh, okay." Sits there, puts his legs up on the other chair, and those three start bickering. It was like one of those. It was just good how it came off.
It was weird because then they are obviously talking about their title and like KO's like, well, this is like Teddy Long here. If we
come out and make a
to make a match, and then eventually
Regal comes out and says it like so like static, a takeover. It's going to be Priest versus Ruff versus Gargano for the North American Championship at Takeover. Walks away, stops, goes player, and just I don't know what the hair flip was. It walks out, lost my mind.
Just like Regal's delivery was perfect on that.
Regal being funny without being funny is the best Regal because he's trying to be serious.
If you recall him and Tajiri together, like they were freaking comedy gold. So it's just like he he's always had that. And hell, I recalled even though it was extremely stereotypical, him with like crime time when he's like dancing around.
Oh yeah, I remember that was. I loved
Just
it
yeah,
because it's regal. That's what makes it.
just being
Just
silly and shit. Yeah.
you go, yeah, boy. Um, then we get Cameron Grimes versus Jake Atlas. Cameron Grimes gets the win. Relatively quick match. After the match, Grimes is like standing, celebrating in the ring. He's by the turnbuckle, but Dexter Lumis pops out, scares Grimes, and Lumis has a black bag, which has a strap in it, which he tries like to throw at Grimes on the outside, and later turns out to be just no surprise a strap match. So Grimes can't escape like he did the blindfold match, one of those things. At Takeover, so Lumis Grimes strap match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I having a strap match was something I wasn't expecting. I felt that kind of came out of nowhere. I thought like maybe more of a like street fight or something, but
yep. But at least with I get it, because with a street fight you could technically like run away as far as you can. Technically, in theory, with a strap match, like you're stuck within a couple feet. Like you're always there, so it makes sense in the story of things. So that should be something to behold. Ripley's in the ring talking about what her future's going to be, and saying there's been a lot of speculation about her last week's loss. Hashtag Hugwatch for baseball fan. Saying she's here to stay. And what I'm hearing is Candace LeRae and Tony Storm come out, and they're mocking her. I forget. LeRae. They mentioned in the back of Dakota Kai Raquel come out carrying Io on Gonzalez's shoulder, obviously unconscious. They all attack her, and Rhea picks out.
Rhea beat the shit out of them before they ultimately got the better of her. But I keep on forgetting, man. Rhea knows how to beat pitches up. Like, it's awesome to freaking see. Like that freaking boot that she gave Rhea. I was like, oh Jesus. and she's just swatting them off like freaking flies. I'm like, it's just like Rhea has that freaking shine in her, man, where she's just so much more imposing than everyone else, she's athletic and
the other person in that group, I say on the China comparison, and I'm always high on, maybe not as up to Rhea's level as maybe in time is Raquel.
Yeah,
she has that. I look at pictures of her, she is jacked,
and
so is Rhea. Like, yes. those two of the people I would not mess with. No, sir.
Just Rhea has a look where she can beat the shit out of anybody. Like, it just and you know she is over, man, when Cornette puts her over. Like he was like Rhea is probably his favorite woman's martyr.
Because to him, she's got the look, and she can like actually go.
Yeah, like, it just, like, to me, I mean, outside of maybe a select few in this company, like Io, Sasha, I mean, like, she is probably one of their better workers, but she has the full package, like from charisma, look, Mike's skills, work ability. Like
She needs.
total package.
She needs to be.
Ruthless.
No, I was going to say she needs to be like on like SmackDown eventually, like and just push
her away from Raw.
Push the damn rocket. Like she should be on the side of stadiums on Mania.
This way, she should be Charlotte. She should be the absolute face of this company. Like it just
that's why I'm up.
And two, I believe she's only 24 or something
like that. Yes,
she's really young, so it's like
she's got the years.
She's got the years.
She's got the years.
And like I think she's finally starting to get back some of that like steam that she lost from like last December when she won that title.
From Mania.
Oh yeah, that's right. because
from beating.
Because guess who buried her there?
She wasn't buried, but she just lost.
Essentially did because ever since then she's been trying to like get back to where she was, and it took
I'm not saying buried because she was on TV. They just didn't do, the storyline wasn't the best. I'm still mad that she lost.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. But anyways,
you don't hate to tell me so. It's a lie. You know it.
So
I lost. We had Xia Li and Boa being transported. They look like they haven't slept in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this definitely had a like a horror element to it for sure. Definitely it's definitely different. I'll say that.
I'm intrigued of who this mystery lady is. I don't think we don't have. There's no rumors about who this is. It's probably has to be somebody Chinese. Or it's Vince and it's him all along. That's the first two people I thought it's Undertaker. It's as a tribute to Taker, old school, or it's Vince, and we all ha ha ha. But it was a woman, so unless it's Vince and drag. But
is there anyone who's been out for a super long period of time that it could be?
I'm trying to think. Was it somebody Chinese? Did they sign somebody else Chinese? Because it would make sense that it'd be
not anyone that I know of.
I can't think because you would think all these people involved is Asian.
Someone, yeah.
Maybe not Chinese, maybe Japanese, because
Kairi Sane.
she's back.
I was like, okay, that's weird, but okay.
Because you can whatever, yeah. But I don't. They had a quick glimpse of her eyes, but that wasn't enough to go on, and I didn't pause it. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this is long, interesting story here to see who this actually is. I mean, it's something. It's intriguing. It's different. It's what can you say? I'm interested. Slow built, even though Boa came out of nowhere, but still, a story here. And then we go into the ring. Everrise is in the ring waiting for their opponents, but they're back. The grizzled young veterans are back. They attack Everrise.
How many tag teams do we have now? What? 4?
Grizzled young veterans, Everrise, the brand, Brizongo, technically if you count Imperium, if you want to put them in there, so you have at least 5.
It's a tag.
Undisputed Era. Holy crap! How am I forget that? There's 6. There's a division there.
It's a division. I'm like,
I was always big fans. When they had that tag team. I think it was tag team tournament. I've been fans of Grizzled Young Veterans. I like their ring work. Maybe Uh, maybe the promo stuff got better, but it's there. They got the look. I mean, it's something. They just look badass. So I'm happy to see they're back.
They can definitely take that like FTR role, and I feel like that it just I'm just glad that they're actually building depth now.
I said this before. I said this before, but NXT has a history when something gets depleted, it somehow before we know it, it comes back. They re-energize it with something. Maybe these are not. If you look at the division as a whole, maybe it's not like household names, but like it's top heavy. But at the same time, kind of if you compare to AEW's is kind of like top heavy with guards of household names, like established names, and then they're building other people up. It's similar with, in my opinion, with NXT.
That's fine.
The AEW's division as a whole, you could say, is better. But NXT with Pat McAfee, it's amazing how his involvement in this group, and we keep saying, and how it just put in new life into this division. Because you got him, you got them, Undisputed Era. They're going at it. So that main event on that takeover is not for the championship. It's a tag team faction fight. You got the grizzled young veterans who can go. Brazongo, they can go. They're comedy lighter act, but as individuals, like they legit can go. Imperium, they can go. Like you got some good workers in this division. There's something there. You're building back up, and it'd be nice. It's nice to see.
Better late than never. That's what
I'm always with NXT. It's always somebody gets plundered and goes up. There's a void, but it gets closed relatively quick. You saw that with the women. You saw that. You always see that with the top of the main events. They always bring somebody from the outside, or they're building somebody. It kind of did that with the tag team a little bit before, with Revival, as they were known, kind of went up. Like it kind of did it. Revival was kind of like the last. It was probably at the point where the tag team division kind of fell off. I'm trying to remember what was left.
I would say when them and American Alpha got called up.
Well, who got caught up first, American Alpha or Revival?
American Alpha. Actually, no. I think they got called up at the same time.
But separate shows. It was relatively close.
It was relatively close, but
but that was I say at that time period, it kind of left something. But they had the tag team. They would do the tag team tournament stuff too. So that was something. But that was like the time it was kind of going down ish. I can't remember. You still had Undisputed Era, but it was kind of Undisputed Era and kind of everybody else. But they're building up with I sound like a broken record, but let's move on because we're going to repeat ourselves. We get to the main event, ladder match for the War Games advantage, with a briefcase hanging above. Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly and Sweet Baby Jesus.
These guys beat the shit out of each other.
Sweet Baby Jesus. I think probably you could say match of the night for both shows.
Absolutely. Where, like, can a babyface just win the freaking advantage just one time?
No, it's not heelish.
Like,
it's not heelish, John.
Like, He's just like, can they just win just one time? Like,
No, John.
but apparently not, because a certain someone, Pat McAfee, showed up through interference. Obviously, Pete, he wins in. I'm not sure if you saw this on it was on a WWE exclusive, but Regal, he shows up and confronts Dunn, Lorcan, and Danny Burch. He was like, you said he was going to be there. You said he was going to be there. You said he was going to be there. Where was like Regal was pissed.
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't show like him come back out and like unmask, because like it happened, and
that's it. Yeah. I was fine with that. It was just hilarious when I saw that. I was like, oh my god, like he, like Regal when he's pissed off is just great.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So now this officially table sets for the men's
War games.
Yep. War games. I would imagine we're going to be finding out who's going to be having the advantage. Chances are it's going to be the if it can heel team.
Wait, with what team? We already knew there was the heel team. Or you talking about the women's?
Yeah.
You said the women. Oh yeah. Maybe.
Chances are it's gonna be the heel team.
Maybe we'll get the women with the faces to do it, but ultimately lose.
Yes. So yeah, a very strong episode of NXT.
Yes, a lot happened. Yes.
We just have one more episode until War Games, so I am really excited for this show. That's for sure.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, because next week is obviously the go home. Next week would be the go home. Wait,
yeah, and I'm interested to see what they'll have planned, because especially they're going to be going against Dynamite, which their show is freaking loaded. So I'm very interested to see what they plan.
I think it's going to be it's a regular show, because you can't do any like championship matches because you have your takeover.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be a strong go home show. With obviously it is what it is, and AEW has their thing, their little special. NXT could do Halloween. If NXT could do Halloween Havoc, then they can do Winter is Coming. Correct.
Yeah. And I think Tony Khan said that they're going to be doing. Do you remember when they did? It wasn't. When Dynamite did Bash at the Beach back in January. I think they're going to be doing that again in January. So that's.
It just seems like. Yeah, I forget who said it, but it seems like there's less like really, like week to week. Like, oh, they're doing this, so let's jack our show up. Right. Between both.
And that's what I've been saying about like NXT. They need to just completely ignore Dynamite. I think at this point, it just seems like they are. And they could do specials themed. At this point, does anybody? It just seems like the rating stuff kind of is died off just in general with the talk. Everybody at this point, does anybody care? No, it's because Matt. I mean, chances are Dynamite is going to be winning most of those weeks. So it's like, okay,
care.
Right, exactly.
And this is if this was like in the 90s, then it's a bigger thing because people can only watch really one thing at a time. But with now, like you can watch both.
Yeah.
YouTube, like I'm watching
DVR too.
I'm watching Dynamite 2 days after it airs, and I'm watching NXT live. You're doing the opposite, basically the opposite of me.
Vice versa. basically.
And guess what? We like both for the most. Yeah, we like both shows, and we're fans of both shows.
Or do we?
You're not helping my point, John. We watch both.
Yes, we do, because we are marks. So,
Yes.
So guys, I think that is a good place for us to stop for this week. We would like to thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for episode 68 of our weekly podcast. We actually record that on like Wednesday night. So it might be a little bit outdated with the
NFL talk.
since obviously a lot has happened in the last in the last 48 hours. But
I have no idea what you're talking about, John.
right. But NFL talk, we talked like Mandalorian, which, by the way, this past week's episode was by far my favorite episode ever. Yeah, like it's just
first 30 seconds were just like,
yep, yeah, exactly. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, and we should be back. Not exactly sure when, if like we're going to do either on Thursday or like Friday next week. We shall keep you guys updated on that. Just continue to follow our Twitter account, which is by the way, MJ Make a Podcast. I am going to be there tomorrow night. Probably am going to be buying the Tyson pay-per-view, which should be intriguing. I'm not going to completely lie. So we shall be back probably on Thursday or Friday or Friday.
We'll probably keep it Fridays, I guess. Most of the time now is probably gonna be Fridays because well, for me working at home, so I can't do anything that stop me from doing Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing, I'm presuming from John. Most of the time, he's working most of the time from home. But regardless, his schedule is mostly free on Friday nights. 9 times out of 10.
For sure.
So yeah, it's probably gonna be Fridays after SmackDown. I like right after SmackDown. It seems to work. And then obviously Saturdays are podcasts. We also talk about a little future
Conan.
of streaming, Conan going to HBO Max and all that stuff. So good podcast this week.
Yep, for sure. So as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and we shall see you for the next live stream.